Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the next episode of this whole Miata rebuild, teardown, whatever it is. So today is going to be one of the more final-ish episodes, at least until I do the turbo stuff. So this one is going to be taking the motor not fully apart, but just disassembling it a little bit, putting all new gaskets in it, new timing belt, new water pump. I got a buddy that's going to be coming over to help me that's built a few Miata motors before, but just to get started, I'm going to start taking stuff apart, try and get the power steering pump and the AC compressor off, the alternator, and might flip the motor upside down and get the oil pan off myself, because I do have to weld a bung on it so that way I can have my AN line for my turbo drain when I do it, because I have to do that while the motor's out of the car, because you can't do it while the motor's in the car on these. And just in general, some cleaning. There's some stuff on here like the ignition stuff and the cam angle sensor that I really don't want to touch if I don't have to at the moment, because I know you have to mess with timing, and that's not one of my strong suits. So I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys up on the tripod and start taking this thing apart. Got the main components off that I wanted to take off. I'm gonna just leave the intake manifold on. I thought I had a gasket for it, and I might, but it's a metal gasket that's on there, and I didn't have any vacuum leaks to start with, so I'm gonna just leave it. But I'm gonna go shoot this thing down with degreaser, some purple power, start scraping some of this crap off of here and give it a good power wash off, and hopefully this thing comes out pretty clean. Honestly, I do a lot of car stuff, but one thing I'm just really not comfortable with is doing a lot of engine work in its own, other than replacing, I don't know, other components on the engine, not so much all the seals and stuff. I'm fine with rear main seals and front seals, but these Miata motors, this is their failure point, and I'd rather have somebody here that knows what they're doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait till John shows up either tonight or tomorrow to do all the gaskets and stuff. And I mean, there's a lot of them. I got thermostat, I got the water tube one, new exhaust gasket, valve cover gasket. There's like 2 gaskets along here, oil pan gaskets, O-rings for all this, throttle body gaskets, blah 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 blah. You guys get the point. Pretty much as clean as I think I can get it. The block is actually painted black from factory, but everything else is pretty good. Some of the pieces I can clean more when we take it apart later, so I'm gonna just leave it till then. My pressure washer just took a dump on me, so that sucked. Had to try and do that with a garden hose. Definitely wasn't very easy, and it just sprayed everywhere. So back out here in the evening now. This is my boy John. He builds engines, like I said, for his day job, so he's the best guy for this job for me. We got, like I said, timing belt, water pump, tensioner, pulley, extra gaskets, seals that came with it, but then I got the full OEM Mazda kit, which was half the price of the 5X Racing when it's the same exact thing. So a little helpful hint for you guys: don't go buying the 5X Racing one when it's $300 when this one was like $160. Same exact stuff. But yeah, full engine overhaul, get this thing totally resealed so that way it's totally leak free and be boost ready. And I gotta take the pan off while we're doing that anyway so that way I can weld the fitting on there. And yeah, didn't turn out too bad despite some of the crap being in the corners yet, but pretty clean. Yeah, PCV is a little dry.
That's good stuff. Make sure there's not any odd wear on them of any sort. I mean, these look good. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. You're lucky this didn't slip.
Yeah.
Tooth. Am I blind?
No engravings or anything?
Should be a notch.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel nothing.
It literally should be right on top of it right now. It's like right there. Keyway still there, right?
Because I got replacements for that.
Gotta work it off here. Nice and slow and steady. There it is.
Yeah, the old keyway is still all squared. That's good. Oh yeah. See, it's been leaking for a bit.
Yeah, you got some things going on here. You just put a hand on it.
Shout out Greg Peters. Cam seals.
Yeah.
That one rock solid.
Here.
Definitely look like you've done this a few times.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh. It's my job. I hope I know what I'm doing.
Everybody's got a niche, but this definitely is not mine.
It easily can be, man. It easily can be. Especially the stuff you're doing over here. This is totally doable.
So we just pointed out that whoever serviced the timing belt and stuff last, for whatever reason, ended up gouging the cams.
Yeah.
And it's still a little chewed up, but he just sanded it down a little bit, so that's probably why it was leaking. Other than the gaskets being old, but we're just gonna send it. I mean, if it leaks, it leaks. It'll probably just seep if anything, and oh well, such is life. $1,000 Miata. Can't expect perfection.
Right. I got him. He's scared.
Oh, you got him?
Yeah.
Oh. Some of B just flew and landed in the oil, and he was like dying. Trying to rinse him off.
Yeah, man.
Steve Irwin.
We're gonna run out of it.
You done watching Gilly get some cheeks?
Yo, Gilly was in there.
That was
It was wild, yo. Yeah, the bean shot's wild tonight. Yeah. What's going on, John? How you doing, bud? You doing all right?
I don't know if these have to come out or not. There's my bolt back here, right? Boom.
Water pumps are funky looking on these things compared to a Honda.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The water tube cleaned up, water pump is about ready to go on. Brand new gaskets and ultra gray. And don't you worry, guys, we all are torque specs right here, right on Miata.net. And he was actually more adamant about torque specs than I was, so. But yeah, torquing the water pump down, obviously got to torque the crank bolt down. People are very, very adamant about that being 87 pounds, like flat, no more, no less, with a bunch of blue Loctite. So, I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, these motors are prone to having the freaking bolt back itself out, so better safe than sorry, I suppose. Wonder how much that costs to get rebuilt then.
$100.
That's it? Is it snap-on or something?
Mac. Happening right now.
Almost done. We just rested off the ground so we didn't make too much of a mess. Gonna do the oil pan now, that way I can weld the bung on it for the turbo drain, and do the rear main, oil pump seal, and oil pan gaskets, because I guess these are a two-piece thing somewhere in there. But getting there.
Sitting on the set pin.
Okay, yeah. So if anybody else doesn't know, you have to separate the windage tray, as it's called, from the pan because it's like silicone to it. So the pan doesn't want to lift up and it'll feel like there's like a bolt catching around somewhere.
Yeah.
But the tray is off, just had to undo the two bolts there. Getting the oil pump off. We are replacing the front main seal and the oil pump gasket, but the kit didn't come with that gasket. So we're just gonna leave that one alone, I guess. I'm gonna be in here working on this oil pan for the next few minutes. I'm gonna just do the bung right about here. This is where everybody seems to be doing it. And it looks pretty straightforward. I mean, I've done this before, so I'm gonna just drill a hole straight through. I got a step bit right around here somewhere, right here, so that way I can just get it to the size that I need. And essentially what we're gonna be doing is making it just big enough so that way you can get this lip to sit flush in there, and then get a good weld on it. And if I can, if it's far enough through, I'll weld it along the inside too, clean it up, and put it back on the motor. Okay. Oil pan's all good to go, all cleaned up, ready for the gaskets and silicone. He just finished up with the oil pump stuff.
The main seals on the back.
Yeah, I got the rear main seal in. I didn't film that just because it was a quick thing. He just unbolted the little housing, I guess you would call it, and then he was able to do it with the inch install on the stand. And is all siliconed up. And these oil pan gaskets are weird. They just have these two for the end caps here, and then they just want you to use a bunch of silicone all the way around. I'm just working on doing the timing components now. The oil pan's all sealed up. Oh, and a little drippy. There we go. Alright, crank is set at top dead. So now we gotta time the cams up, right?
Yeah.
So we stayed out here till about 1:30 last night. Then John had to get going. He's got stuff going on today, so he pretty much set me up to finish it. I just really want to take a sec to just thank him so much for coming out, because although none of this is super really hard, I'm just not comfortable doing seals and gaskets. I just have a bad luck with them, so I always get leaks. But anyway, thank you so much, John. And we're all ready. All I got to do is swap out the crank bolt for the new one. I had to go get
Loctite, which is part of the reason we couldn't finish it last night because I didn't have any blue Loctite. So put that on, torque it to spec, put the timing covers on, and then finish cleaning the valve cover and put the valve cover on with a new gasket. And it's all good to go. Then I can bolt on the rest of the accessories and put it back in. So before I finish this up, all that's left is this valve cover and the crank bolt. I found some extra Wrinkle Plus paint that I had from when I did my old valve cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean or get this done really quick. I already degreased it, and I'm gonna just shoot it really quick, then we can slap it on. Valve cover's looking pretty nice. Putting the accessories back on now, and I ran into an issue with clearancing for the AC bracket on my oil bung, so I'm gonna have to just trim it straight across here. It doesn't really matter for that casting. So as long as I keep this hole here so the AC compressor can bolt up, this will be fine. I don't know if this is a regular issue or if it's just because of where I welded the bung, but easy fix. Just gonna take a while to cut through it being that it's cast iron. Easy as that, just cut off wheel, cut that section out, AC compressor can still bolt up, and should be good to go.
Okay. Yeah, the engine keeps it moving.
Okay. Alright, hopefully that is good. I really hope so. I'm gonna go ahead and put some yellow paint on there for my paint pen, so that way I can kind of keep an eye on it and see if it actually starts walking out on me. Because if it does, then it's time to scrap the motor at that point. So now we just gotta wait for our clutch to show up. We are finally done here. Everything is put on minus the clutch because I'm still waiting for the clutch to show up. I'm trying to just find a cheapy motor mount to get me by for now because this one totally fell out. This clears the AC compressor now. Got my new belts put on, new accessory belt, alternator belt, all good here. And yeah, the motor is ready to go back in the car once I get the clutch. Hopefully you guys found this video mildly entertaining or interesting, or maybe you learned something even though it wasn't very descriptive. But I kind of just want to do the general idea because I'm pretty sure the Car Passion channel, Greg, he's probably got something going on, or I think he already has a video like this. So his is more detail orientated. So anyways guys, be sure to like the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and do what you love. Forget about the rest. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.